Can you hear me?
Yes, Shadow. Shadow? Shadow, do you turn on the English channel?
Yeah, I have already turned on.
Shadow. Bande Shadow agaknya 到了吗？Bande，我们这边到了哈，因为那个 camera 我看不到 Shadow 的 seat，只看到那个 projector 而已。Yeah. Okay. Shadow, are you ready to start the Dhamma talk?
Okay, you can start.
Okay, sadhu. Vandami Shadow and good evening everyone. Good morning for everyone in the East Hemisphere. Welcome to the 7-day plus 14-day Samatha-Vipassanā Meditation Retreat conducted by Sarah Uwaganya and Sarah Kovida. Today, Sarah Kovida will continue with the Dhamma talk on Bojjhanga Sutta Part 9. May we respectfully invite Sarah to start today's Dhamma talk, and may we invite both interpreter Bande to start the translation. Sadhu.
We will pay homage to the Buddha by reciting the Samatha 3 times. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sama sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sama sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sama sambuddhassa. Today we will continue Bojjhanga, the enlightenment factor of rapture or joy. So the definition of piti. The nature of piti is satisfactions like the thirsty man who sees the water. So we have one simile. Whenever we talk about jhana factors, piti and sukha, many people also ask these questions. What's the difference between piti and sukha? We have the simile. If a man is weary of a journey, also he was thirsty, he also is sweaty, then when he see a big lake with clean water afar, he may feel happy. When seeing the water, and when he happy, this is one thing. This is like pity. Then he will go there and take a shower. It's like sukha, bliss. So here the nature of piti is like a satisfactions, like a thirsty man who see water means he's warrior journey, he's so thirsty, he goes there and he takes shower. Right? This is like enjoying sukha. Anyway, piti is also one of the factors we can experience when we are meditating. From time to time, when we have very strong piti, we can also think that we have very strong quality or we have achieved something. But in reality, piti is just normal. Maybe after around 10 days or maybe more than 1 week, we can experience the rapture, piti. Then gradually, the rapture will become stronger. Finally, it becomes very fine and very pleasant rapture. So we have definitions of piti, lakkhana, characteristics. The characteristics is enduring or satisfaction, sambhiyayana. I have already talked about satisfactions, like on seeing the water, right? The rasa function. The function is to refresh the body, the materiality, and the mind mentality. Kaya Chitta or to pervade and thrill with the rapture, parana. So that means it can also feel our mind and body fresh when we have piti. Not only that, it also can separate all about the body. then this is called rasa, function. Bojjhanga, manifestation. The manifestation is elation or exaltation, we call adagya. That means very strong rupture, right? It's like water, invaded all over the body. Like a wave, strike all over the body. Then, Bojjhanga, proximate cause. The proximate cause is the object. When we have desirable objects, we may have piti. It can be naturally desirable objects. It also can be mind-made desirable objects. But sometimes it's naturally desirable. Right? For example, Buddha's quality. Naturally, is only good things. Dhamma's quality is naturally is really very good. Naturally desirable. We can also say the most desirable. Some of the objects are just mind-made desirable. Sometimes only we like, not other people like it. That's why we call mind-made desirable. Okay, for example, chili, right? Some traditional or some ethnics, they like chili too much. Chili is desirable. Without chili, they cannot eat. For some traditional or some ethnic, chili is very bad. Right? It's very spicy, and they dislike this kind of foods. So that means mind-made desirable. Different people have different preferences. You cannot say the same to everybody. Okay, the main thing is, as long as we have a desirable object for ourselves, we can have rupture. Now, we also have many different types of rupture according to Buddha's teaching. The first one, Kodika piti, minor piti like a hair rising in the moment. Sometimes you may feel hair rising all over the body. Sometimes only takes short time, a short moment. It also can happen like this. This is also called Kodaka piti. The Ubeka piti, uplifting piti, like a flying on the sky. So from time to time, you may feel like you are floating or flying on the sky. This also can be considered as Ubeka piti. Although we say flying roughly, sometimes you may also feel like a sinking down. This also can be considered as Ubeka piti. It depends on how you experience this. The Kanika piti, momentary piti like a thunder striking many times, rising and perishing many times. You also say like a thunder striking. You can also imagine, right? It is a very strong piti. It will rise in the body almost all the time. We can also say another way, like electric shock. You can also experience all over the body. It's a very strong piti, but not discomfort. It's just comfortable. This kind of thing is called Kanika piti. Akanika piti, a soaring piti, as if invaded by a wave. So here we can say like a floating, right? Like a wave up and down. You can experience many different piti like this. So the first four piti, Kodika, Ubeka, Kanika, Akantika. These are very gross piti. That's why our minds will go there from time to time. So when we have good concentrations, or when we have calmness of the mind, we may have this piti. So initially, they are very strong, very gross. Then our mind will go there frequently, that we cannot concentrate very well. So many people misunderstand that they have attained jhana when experiencing these four types of piti. But in reality, the first four types of rupture are so gross that it's not jhana factors. The last one, pharana piti, this is the real jhana factors that can arise when we are attaining jhana. So Pharana piti, pervading piti that spreads all over the body and lasts longer than Akantika. It can last whole day, whole night. But this jhana factors, one of the jhana factors. So it's more pleasant, not so gross like previous one. It cannot make our mind agitated. So previous four rapture are gross. From time to time is attracted. Our mind will go there from time to time. Then we can get lost our concentration. In the case of Pharana piti, then it will last long. It will spread all over the body. It's very pleasant, very fine. Then we can also meditate longer. We have one simile. Pharana piti is like a small, very fine thread, like a fine wool. It is cotton wool or sheep wool, very fine wool, right? If we dip inside the very clean and pure wine, it will become soft. Naturally, it's already soft already, but if we dip in the clean and pure wine, it will become softened. That means more salt. So it's like that. Our mind will become very soft, very flexible. Although we can say it's soft and flexible, but we have energy to maintain. This is called Pharana piti. So these are 5 kinds of piti we can experience when we are meditating. So you may remember when somebody asked the question about floating or flying, was the angel say, don't follow any of sensation, any of feeling like that. Just keep knowing breathing normally and naturally. If you follow all types of piti, then it will fade away. It will become weaker. Finally, no more rupture. We have to start from zero. Anyway, so if we have these 5 kinds of rupture, this actually we can say positive energy. Something, although we experience very minor rupture, we may have very strong confidence with our practice. This is also a good thing to do. And suddenly, when we have overconfidence, it will be the problem. Right? We may think, oh, only I can experience, no other people can experience like that. When we have this kind of mana, then it is a little bit risky. Okay, well, as we have 5 different types of piti, rupture, then we also have to know development of rupture or piti. Okay, then if we are peaceful and happy with this, what we are righteously doing now, we can also be successful. Which is one of the supporting factors. Then we must be happy with meditations in order that we may attain jhana, insight knowledge, and so forth. This also can be considered as a piti. Especially when we have some improvement in our meditation, we may have stronger piti. This is also a clinical sign. So similarly, we also need some rupture and piti when offering, when undertaking or observing precepts, when meditating, or when chanting, recitations, or any Dhamma activities. If we do it with happy minds, then this also can produce piti. If the rapture associated with sensual pleasure is not the way to improve meditation, even it is desirable, enjoyable, and more attractive. Of course, sensual pleasure are also really enjoyable because of piti, rapture. Then we also like enjoying such sensual pleasure. It's easy to enjoy sensual pleasure because very easy to find. Although all of them are really attractive. But for about meditation, in the very beginning, before we experience something good or some improvement, it's not really very attractive, not really very enjoyable. Okay, briefly, piti can be good and bad to both parties. When we are trying something good, then piti may arise. This is called kusala, wholesome. When we are doing something bad, we may have piti. At the time, we can say akusala. Especially when we have greed, we also say greed-rooted consciousnesses. Then there will be piti. Sometimes there is also greed without piti. Anyway, the main thing is when we are greedy, we can also feel rupture. We can also experience rupture. When we get angry, sure, no more piti anymore. When we have delusion, no more piti, because delusion is not good factors, not desirable. Then, when we are going to develop the enlightenment factor of piti, so here I mentioned 11 things leads to the arising of the enlightenment factor of joy or rapture. So 11 things. It's actually many things. It will be the longest explanation in this samatha. But anyway, it also can be for beginners. That's why I add all 11 in detail. Okay, now here, Buddhanosity, recollection of the Buddha. In our daily life, we also chant Iti Piso Bhagava Arahant Samma Sambuddho. Now here I will explain in detail. Then 2, Dhammanosati, recollection of the Dhamma. Then in our daily life, we also chant Sakado Bhagavata Dhamma and so on. Then 3, Sanghanosati, recollection of the Sangha. Supatipano Bhagavata Savaka Sangho. And we have 9 qualities. Then Silanosati, recollection of morality. This one is something new for many of meditators. We also have the quality of morality. We must know what kind of morality is qualifying to do recollection. Then Jaganosati, recollection of charity or generosity. So there's also some quality of charity, generosity. We must also recollect all this quality. Then 6, Devadanosati, recollection of divine beings. Actually, we can also say recollection of divine qualities. Then we also can misunderstand this Pali words, Devadanosati. That means we must try to recall divine beings and their qualities. In reality, this one is recollection of our own quality that is equal to divine beings. That means we human beings also have divine qualities that we must recall all our qualities as divine as a ordinance. So divine beings have this kind of quality. We also have this kind of quality, right? Divine as a ordinance. We just recall our own quality. Then Upasamasati, recollection of peace. This one is also new to meditators. Actually, this is also about Nibbana. The another thing is Yukha Bhukala Parivachana, the avoiding of bad people. This is as usual. And in every single enlightenment factors, we also mention bad association and good association. The 9, Sinija Bhukala Sevanata, association with good people. Then 10, Asadaniya Sutanda Bachvakanata, reflection on the discourses, inspiring confidence. After listening or reading some suttas, you may have stronger confidence. Then you can recite or you can listen to this kind of discourses frequently. The Dudati Modata, the inclination towards joy. This is also common in every single enlightenment factors. So altogether, we have 11 enlightenment factors to develop. So today we have to start with the first one, recollection of the Buddha. So in our daily life, we also chant Buddha's quality. Then if we summarize, there are only 2 different types of qualities that we actually, in our religion, we have 9 qualities. 9 qualities. So although we have 9 qualities, if we summarize only 2, Attahita Sambati, achievement for his own welfare. Parahita Sambati, practicing for the welfare of other beings. These are quality. So we can also understand our life. If we achieve something, then this is also for our own welfare. This is also called quality. Similarly, if we can do for the welfare of other living beings, for our community, this is also quality. If we don't achieve anything, or if we cannot do for the welfare of our community, then we cannot say we have quality. So if we summarize, we have 2 different qualities, Attahita Sambati and Parahita Sambati. So Buddha may have achieved many different attainments. We call Attahita Sambati. It's just for him. Although he has all these qualities, if he didn't share with other living beings, then nobody can understand. So he also share his knowledge with other living beings, Parahita Sambati. So we human beings have to do these 2 qualities. If we have these 2 qualities, our life becomes valuable. We will be valuable in our community. Okay, so what are really called Attahita Sambati and Parahita Sambati? We should elaborate a little bit more. Now, Attahita Sambati can divide into 2. Pahana Sambara, achievement by abandonment. Jnana Sambara, achievement by knowledge or knowing. So we should also understand abandonment. We may have many bad habits, bad things. We have to give up or we have to abandon all these things. This is also called Pahana Sambara, Attahita, for our own benefit, for our own welfare. If we cannot give up, then it will be very harmful for our future. Because the main thing is, Pahana Sambara, achievement by abandonment, means he may abandon many different things like bad habits, bad hobby, also defilements, everything. Jnana Sambara, achievements by knowledge or knowing. So Buddha has experienced many new things. Buddha has known many new things compared to ordinary people. This is called knowledge. Actually, we have many different levels of knowledge. For example, Kammasakata Samadhi or Kammasakata Panya, the knowledge of karma ownership. Now we understand if we do good things, good result will come. If we do bad things, bad result will come to us. This kind of understanding, this kind of knowledge is also called Kammasakata Samadhi or Kammasakata Panya. Similarly, when we are going to do dana, we also have dana maya panya. We become skillful. We may offer only beneficial things for the receiver. All the things come from experiences, dana maya panya. Similarly, sila maya panya, produced by morality. If we are practicing morality very long times, we have a good habit already, and we may come to know how to avoid and what to do. This also comes from experiences. Silamaya Panya. Another thing is Jnanamaya Panya. When we attain jhana also, we become skillful. Then we also have better knowledge. Jnanamaya Panya. For Vipassana Panya, you have already known what is Vipassana, right? You have already learned from a different teacher. Vipassana is a very high level. We have to know Nama Rupas. We have to know their causes. We have to contemplate them as anicca, dukkha, anatta. These are called Vipassana. So this is also Vipassana Panya. Magga Panya, path knowledge. Phala Panya, fruition knowledge. Paccappakkana, this is the revealed knowledge. These are very high level of knowledge. So the Buddha has all types of knowledges, all types of wisdoms. The Buddha has known all the things. Jnana Sambhara. So that means if we can learn something beneficial for us, that we will be knowledgeable, this is also our value. If we can give up many, many bad things, this is also our value. It's also for our own welfare. Okay, here I just analyze some part of Buddha's quality. For example, Arahant is Attahita Sambhati, achievements achieved by abandoning the defilements. Actually, just simply mentions Attahita Sambhati. So we may have many defilements. If we can abandon or if we can overcome it, then this also for the welfare of ourselves. This is actually directly affect our success, our achievement. But it also affects indirectly to other people. For example, because of good quality of the Buddha, the Buddha has already eradicated defilements, that he may not disturb any living beings, right? That he can please many living beings. This also affects other living beings. Similarly, Sammasambuddha. Sammasambuddha is also Attahita Sambhati by realizing Four Noble Truths. So you can imagine this one, right? Actually, Sammasambuddha also knows many other things. Later in the quality, we can explain the one. So he realized by himself, this Attahita Sambhati, by achievement, or by knowing something. Before the Buddha arising, we don't have Four Noble Truths. Nobody talk about Four Noble Truths. Only the Buddha start talking about Four Noble Truths. Then Vijayacharana Sampanno is also Attahita Sambhati by knowing things to be known, and abandoning things to be abandoned. So Vijayacharana Sampanno is a very wide. Vijami, knowledge, Charanami, contact. So when we do for our knowledge, it will be very useful for our practice. Now there's a conduct. It is also for ourselves. For example, we may undertake precepts. It is also for ourselves. But it also affects our community. For example, if we don't tell a lie, people will believe us. Right? That means trust comes from truth. If we are truthful, then people will trust. That is why it also affects other people, our community, indirectly. Vijayacharana Sampanno is mostly Attahita, right? We are both abandoning and also knowing two different things. Then here, Parahita Sambhati. So we also have two different types of Parahita Sambhati. By yoga, making an effort to deliver discourses. This is also called Parahita Sambhati. So that means the Buddha also had to prepare for Dhamma talk on his mind, right? Prepare for Dhamma talk. Then they have to check people's minds, their controlling faculties and something like this. They have to prepare. When you go and read in the sutta in the early morning, without entering into Mahakaruna Samapatti, you may try to see the people today who can achieve the Dhamma, who can attain path and fruition knowledge. This is also called Bojjhanga Sampatti. Then, if he has known the person's conditions, for example, controlling faculties, then he also have to choose what kind of thing is suitable for him. For example, he has very strong saddha, very weak knowledge. Then the Buddha will explain how to balance these two. Or the Buddha will explain to be able to balance these two. So this is the way he has to check people's minds, people's conditions. This is also called Bojjhanga Sampatti. 2. Asaya, waiting for the maturity of controlling faculties. So sometimes, although somebody can attain path and fruition knowledge, but their controlling faculty is not so mature, the Buddha must wait for a while. Okay, one more thing here. It's very common questions. Many people, even in Singapore retreat, and somebody asked me this question. When the Buddha held Angulimala before killing his mother, but why the Buddha didn't the Buddha held right Ajatasattu before killing his father? There's very big questions. Many times people ask this question. So we have different conditions of two people. Okay, I should say how bad Ajatasattu was. Then you may have read something about Jyotika, one of the rich men in Rajagaha. One day, King Bimbisara and his little son Ajatasattu visited the Jyotika's house. So Jyotika house was decorated with jewelry, very valuable things. Even the wall is made of ruby or something. Many jewelries. So on arrival, Ajatasattu thought, my father is a little bit stupid. He just lived in a wooden palace. But rich man under his control, under his sovereignty, right? Live with very luxurious and jewelry house. If I become the king, or if I can gain throne, I will take over all the properties of Jyotika. He has that kind of mindset. One little boy, no? This is his habit. Okay, compared to Ajatasattu, we should talk about Angulimala. So Angulimala's real name is Ahinsaka. Ahinsaka means non-cruelty. That means kindness, or a kind boy, or a kind man. You can also imagine. So when Angulimala was very young, he's very kind, very stable, a very lovely one. He does not have bad habits. Unfortunately, both of them have bad association, bad teacher. Right? So Ajatasattu was influenced by his teacher, Devadatta. And he also have Devadatta in many different ways, even to assassinate the Buddha. So this is also one of the things. What about Angulimala also? He has bad association because his teacher is bad. That's why he encouraged his student to kill people. Angulimala also believed his teacher, so he killed many people. Then Devadatta also encouraged Jatasattu to kill his father, to gain the throne. Then Jatasattu also killed his father. Then he became the king. So then when Angulimala is going to kill his mother, Buddha interfered. Angulimala also ran after, chasing the Buddha, but Buddha just moved normally, but because of psychic power, it made very far distance. Angulimala say, "Hey monks, are you scared of me? Why are you running?" Then the Buddha say, I'm not running, I'm standing, because you are running. And he realized, he's a wise person, he can realize what this Buddha means. Anyway, the main thing is, Buddha can help Angulimala before killing his mother. Why this thing happen? They have different controlling faculties, different maturity. So I'll give one example. Okay, then you also have mango in USA, right? Mango fruits. When it's very young, newly bear the fruits, too young, the seed is also not strong enough. If we pluck it, if we cut, and if we take a seed, take out the seeds and plant, it cannot grow. Because the fruit is so small, not mature yet, not strong yet. Not only that, if we eat the mango fruit, also it will be very sour, not good taste. If it is mature enough, it will ripen. Then, if we remove outer meat, we can eat. The seed also strong enough, we can plant. Okay. Compared to controlling faculties, if somebody has very weak controlling faculties, they are like young seeds, young fruits. If we take it, no tasty, also spoil the seeds. Then for mature controlling faculties, it's like a mature fruit. The taste also good, we can also plant the seeds. Sometimes if we are not mature enough, when we talk about anicca dukkha anatta, they may not accept. They will not believe that kind of things. Right? Okay, now I'm in Nepal. They have some misunderstanding about past karma. When they are meditating, they have to accept all kind of suffering without changing. It's their past karma. In this way, they can overcome their past akusala karma, right? Bad karma in the past. They have this kind of belief. Like here, one young bhikkhu, he also admitted when he just arrived at Myanmar and he started studying in Bali school, and he argued with many people. No, this is past karma, past karma. Many Myanmar bhikkhus say no, it's no. But he still argued. After learning many different things, he realized, oh, this is his mistake. There's something wrong view in the community, right? So that means before he know many different things, before knowing many different things, he will not accept. After learning, then his knowledge becomes stronger because he becomes a bit mature. He can accept. Similarly, the Buddha also have to wait until their controlling faculty is mature. When their controlling faculty is mature enough, the Buddha will just deliver this concept to them. Then they can also listen. They can also attain path and future knowledge. So if we summarize, there are two different things, Bojjhanga and Asaya, for Prahita Sambati. Okay, now here, we should introduce practical example. Sukhato. It's both Atahita Sambati and Prahita Sambati. By knowing things to be known and abandoning things to be abandoned, delivering discourse timely according to living beings' temperament. Later, when we talk about Sukhato, everything will be very obvious, very clear. So Sukado here, knowing things to be known. Actually, although the speech is a beneficial truth, the Buddha also know the time to speak. Buddha speak timely. The abandoning things to be abandoned. When we talk about good speech, they must abandon bad speech also, right? This is the example. Not only that, in Sukado there are many other meanings, like for example, going to Nibbana, safe place, secure place. Without abandoning defilements, we cannot go there. Another thing, the following discourse is timely, according to living beings' temperament. So different living beings may have different habits, different hobby, different temperament. The Buddha understands their conditions. The Buddha can know their conditions. That the Buddha will explain timely. For example, when Buddha was spending Vasa in Varanja, Venerable Sariputta think about the long lasting of Buddha dispensation or Buddha teaching. Then he also knows some parts, but he cannot know many different parts because his knowledge is not so strong as Buddha. Then he also realized some Buddhas have very long lifespan, then their generation cannot maintain. Then second lineage, after second lineage, second generations, then Dhamma disappear. For short lifespan Buddhas, then their generation, they can teach their generations, they can last long. So after understanding this, he approached the Buddha and asked, Bande, Venerable Sir, in which Buddha dispensation lasts long? Which dispensation does not last long? Buddha also explained, some Buddha's dispensation lasts long, some Buddha dispensation does not last long. Then he also asked why it's so. Then in some Buddha dispensation, they don't need to lay down very heavy Vinaya rules. That means they may have Vinaya rules, but very little Vinaya rules. Because they have almost all the devotees have very strong faith. Nobody break precepts. That's fine. Buddha didn't lay down any rules. That's fine. They don't lay down very heavy Vinaya rules. That's fine. Their dispensation does not last long. When hearing that, Venerable Sariputta requested, Venerable Sir, please lay down for the bhikkhus. Lay down Vinaya rules for the bhikkhus in order to last long, in order to prolong Buddha's teaching. Then the Buddha said, Sariputta, please wait until the time ripen. The time ripen means, for example, the Buddha will lay down the rules. If you steal the other people's properties, then it's parajika, for example. Nobody break precepts. If you lay down, they will complain. Who do it? No, who will do it? Nobody do. Why he lay down this kind of rules? People will complain. That's what I say. Please wait until the time ripen. In Rajagaha, Venerable Daniya, still the woods of King Bimbisara, then the Buddha laid down the rules. If you steal valuable things, it's a parajika. So that means, even for Vinaya rules, Buddha waits until the time ripen. After that, the Buddha laid down the rules. That is fine. Bojjhanga and Asaya both also here. Not only that, also he uses knowledge to lay down the rules. Similarly, what about the Dhamma talks? There are some meditators, they may have very strong hate, very strong anger, hateful temperament. The Buddha will encourage them to practice metta meditation, loving kindness, karuna meditation, compassion, and also mudita meditation, sympathetic joy, upekkha meditation, equanimity. So when they have lustful temperament, the Buddha will encourage them to practice 32 body parts, reversiveness meditations, or like a asava meditation, seeing the corpse and reversiveness of corpse. It depends on people's temperament and underlying tendency. The Buddha also can give different discourses. This is also for the welfare of other living beings, prahita. Okay, now Buddha and Bhagava are both Attahita Samadhi and Brahita Samadhi. Buddha, he himself also knows Four Noble Truths, but he also make other people know Four Noble Truths. That means he also can give instruction to the people to understand Four Noble Truths. So he himself also understands Attahita. He can also make other people understand this Brahita. Similarly, Bhagavan, his appearance is also good. This means his Attahita. And not only that, Buddha also can help many other people because of his glory and many other things. Because of the Brahita Sampati. Okay, now Anuttara Buddhisa Dhamma Sarati and Sattha Divamnusanam, true quality. They are Brahita Sampati. So the Buddha train people to be tame. This is very clear, right? This is it. Brahita Sampati. Then Sattva Manusana, his teacher of divine beings and human beings. Here when we say divine being, it also covers Brahma. So if we say human being, there are some living beings lower than human being, right? Such as some animals. We're also can guide them. Like for example, some monkey, elephants. You may see elephant who has many fruits, right? Or the monkey also bring beehive. You can see this kind of picture in many different places. This is just a sample. There are many other cases. So that means these are Prahita Sampati. The Buddha just did it for the welfare of other living beings, for the welfare of beings. Okay, this is the summary of Buddha's quality. But today we have a little bit time. We should also move, Arahant, the first quality. So recollection of the Buddha, the first Arahant, mostly we translate worthy one or holy one. We have different translation. Okay, now, one who stands remote and far away from all defilements. This is also called the meaning of Arahant. Then two, a little bit similar, who destroys his enemies, the defilements. There are 10 defilements: greed, hatred, delusion, pride, wrong view, skepticism, sloth, restlessness, moral shameless, moral fearlessness. These are called defilements. It can make our mind impure. So the Buddha destroying all these things with his path of fruition knowledge. So then to cut all these things or to destroy all these things, so he used a lot of knowledge and power. For example, we have a wrong view and skepticism. The Sotapanna Magga can destroy these two. Then hatred. Among the greed, there's also Kamachanda, right? Sensual desire. The Buddha also cut with Nagami path and fruition knowledge. For other defilements, the Buddha destroys with Adhita path and fruition knowledge. So that means the Buddha cut or destroy all types of defilements by his power. Also, the Buddha also lived very far away from the defilements. This is the called Arahant. Then 3, who destroys the spoke of samsara, the 12 factors of dependent origination. In our daily chants, we also have avijja paccaya sankhara, sankhara paccaya vijnana, vijnana paccaya nama rupam. We have all the dependent origination factors. The Buddha has already destroyed all these 12 factors. For example, avijja. This is actually root of all unwholesome deeds. What also destroyed already. Then sankhara, good action and bad actions. That means wholesome or unwholesome. After attaining Buddhahood, he cannot do wholesome or unwholesome. Whenever he do something good, it is functional consciousness. Neither wholesome nor unwholesome. Then similarly, if there's no sankhara, no karma, there's no more reverse, no vijnana. It will be very long for you to explain 12 factors, right? If we summarize, we can say 3. Kilesa, karma, vipaka. For example, among the 12, avijja, this is also defilements. Tanha, craving, also. Upadana, clinging, is also defilements. Then we have karma, for example, sankhara, also bhava. These two are karma bhava, these two are karma. Karma rounds, right? Now vijnana and many other parts are vipaka, results. Okay, for your understanding, you can make it simple. Okay, now you have one house. You cannot satisfy with one house. You want to get 2 houses. Defilements. Greed. It will force you to work or to earn more. You will earn and you will be able to buy the second house. Right? When you are working, when you are earning, it's a karma. Then because of that karma, you can also buy a house. Vipaka, results. Now you have 2 houses. You cannot satisfy with 2 houses. You want to get the third house, 3 houses, right? Then greed, then you make efforts, you get it. Kilesa, karma, vipaka. This is our daily life. We wish to be somebody. We wish to get something. We try for it. We get it. But we cannot satisfy with this again. We start from 0. We wish to be something or somebody again. Or we wish to get something. Then we try it. We get it. This is called samsara. So the Buddha has already cut kilesa. The Buddha has already cut karma. The Buddha has already cut vipaka. That is why he's free from samsara. This is also called Arahant. Okay, now, who is worthy of receiving the 4 local 6? So that means we also receive 4 local 6. What's the difference between Buddha and us? So it's not that simple like us, because Buddha can use all the donations. We're going to use all types of donations. For example, you may know the last meal of the Buddha, of Favine, Tunda, a goldsmith. Then many divine nutriment is infused into it. The Buddha can take it. If ordinary people eat it, they cannot digest well, they will pass away. Then there's some leftover food. Then he asked Junda, the donor, that did the swine. After that, keep all the food into the small hole, and then he just cover with the swine again. So if he throw away all this food into the water, fish will die. If you throw away this food on the grass will dry. That is why God just encouraged him to bury under the ground, in order that some other animal may not eat. Okay, the main thing is Buddha is worthy of receiving 4 requisites. At the same time, Buddha also can use all these requisites. It's different from other living beings. Then 5. Who is the absence of secret evil doing? So at the time of the Buddha, there are many religious leaders. They also have their own traditions. They will not do many bad things in the public, but in their private, then they will do many bad things. The Buddha is different from all this types of leader. He may not do bad things in the public or in private, both. Because he has already destroyed all types of defilements. Even he doesn't have evil minds. If there's no evil minds, they may not do evil things. That's why Buddha is called Arahant. So whenever we are going to recall Buddha's quality, we must remember this 5 quality of 5 minutes of Arahant. This very beginning of Buddha-nosity, Buddha's quality. Okay, so in this group of quality, we can check Atahita or Parahita. For example, the first one, stand remote and far away from all defilements. This is also for himself. Second one, who destroys his enemies, the defilements. This is also his own achievement, his abandonment. So the first 2 are abandonment. Okay, what about the third one? Who destroying spoke of samsara, the 12 fetters of different originations. This is also destroying abandonment. Who is worthy of receiving 4 requisites? Okay, this is a quality he achieved. So why he is this kind of quality? He's an incomparable sila, morality. He also have incomparable samadhi, concentration. He also have incomparable panya, wisdom. He also have incomparable emancipation, vimutti. He also have incomparable the revealed knowledge. We can also say vimutti jnana dasana. That is why he's worthy of receiving all types of donation. This is also his achievement. Then who is absent of secret evil doing? This is also abandonment. Right? So here we can understand 2 different things: abandonment and achievement. Knowing something or some qualities. Okay, another thing is when he receives donation of other people's living beings, this is also for the welfare of living beings. We can also understand like that. But it's just indirectly, right? He can enjoy, but he will not enjoy with the greed or attachment. He just take it as with equanimous mind. Okay, these are the meaning of Arahant for today. Tomorrow actually we should continue another qualities. Actually, it will take a little longer time because it's very deep and very profound. So when we wish to develop the enlightenment factor of rapture or joy, we can also do recollection of Buddha's quality. When we are going to do recollection of Buddha's quality, we can also close our eyes, or we can also just try to visualize Buddha's image or Buddha's statues we prefer, we like most. Then we can also do one of the recollection of qualities, just two, one of the meaning of qualities. Then just two continuously, only one quality. Then when we can understand the meaning deeply, then there will be rapture in our minds. We may have stronger devotion to the Buddha. Then it will be beneficial for our practice. So for non-Buddhists, it's not that easy to teach this kind of methods. For Buddhists, it's easier to teach Buddhanussati. Okay, anyway, all the things today will be useful for your practice. This is also for beginners. Okay, I have already said many of paths are not for beginners, but with this Bojjhanga, many of paths are for beginners. You can also use all these methods. Okay, so by using proper methods, you can also get rapture, joy. When you have very strong rapture and joy, you can also have tranquility. You can also have the bliss. You can also have better concentration. Okay, may you all be able to practice the three trainings, and may you all be able to realize the final cessation and not suffering.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you, Sayadaw. Sayadaw, shall we proceed to the question and answer session?
Okay. Okay, we can.
Okay. Dear Dhamma brothers and sisters, if you have any question, please raise your hand, and Brother Jia Hong will bring the microphone to you. And the participants online, you may send your question to the chat group, the Zoom chat. Any question from the participant from the floor?
Thank you, Seattle. So a question is like when we do meditation based on this, because we are not Buddha yet, so it's very hard to imagine like the virtue, like the quality of those. Then as a lay people, how do we really meditate to get a closer approximation about these? Yeah.
Okay. So sometimes, okay, now I should approach practical way, right? Sometimes when you have good concentration, your mind will be very far from defilements. You may feel peaceful, right? All of they are like mental states. You can imagine mental states, mental quality. So when your mind is very far from defilements, that means when your mind becomes very peaceful, no defilements. You can also imagine how peaceful Buddha mind will be. Compared to your peacefulness, you can also imagine how strong peacefulness may arise in Buddha's mental process. Then we can also understand, right? The one who is free from defilements. Okay, one more thing. This is our traditional way. You know, the traditional way means when I was young, some of my senior or some of the material also talk about it. When I get angry, I remember the Buddha who does not have anger. When I'm greedy, I remember the Buddha who does not have any greed. When I'm proud of my ability, I remember the Buddha who does not have any pride. Then when I have very strong delusion, I remember the Buddha who doesn't have delusion. In this way, right? You can also do Buddha's quality. But there are many other ways to increase your quality, right? In this way, you can also overcome greed, hatred, delusion, pride, many things, right?
Thank you, Sadhu. So both yesterday and today's lecture talk about avoidance of associating with bad people. So I have two questions. The first is whether avoidance of them is enough. Do we also need to educate them or do more active things? And the second thing is, what if you cannot avoid bad people in your daily life or doing your work as your obligation?
Okay, sure. Some people, although they are bad, they are obedient. They are flexible, right? So for that kind of people, we can educate them. It's possible. There are some people, they are bad, they are arrogant. It's not that easy to educate them. Okay, it depends on how is it their conditions. We can divide into two different parts, right? Another flexible, obedient type. Other than disobedient types. and a little bit stubborn. Okay, this is for educating. Another thing about avoidance. Actually, we have different ways of avoidance, different types of association. Mostly we understand when we say association, like not making friends, right? The main thing is, okay, although we make friends, if they do some mistakes or something very bad, don't agree with them. Mentally, don't agree. This is also called dissociation. For example, okay, even yesterday we have one questioner in Nepal. He asked, if our parents are stupid, how should we do? Should we avoid them? He asked this kind of question, right? So in the case of association, okay, we have to understand two different things. Don't emulate or imitate them. This is not association. Okay, association means imitate or emulate them. When we say associate with good people, we must emulate the way they practice. If we say don't associate them, don't imitate or emulate the way they practice. Two different things we can understand, right? Another thing is we have another angle. Bodily and bhavali, we can communicate, we can associate, but mentally don't associate. Let me I'm to talk about agusala, right? In the case of agusala, for example, killing. Although we don't kill, but we encourage other people to kill. This is also panadipada. Another thing is we don't encourage other people, but we agree when someone is going to kill. Then this is also called panadipada. Another thing, then we may feel happy, right? When somebody is killing another living beings. This is also called panadipada. Okay, when we talk about don't associate, that means don't agree, don't be happy with their bad behavior. This is not associating. If we say association, we must agree right thing they are doing, or we must be happy when they are doing something right things or good things. This is called association. Okay? Then the next one.
Any more questions from participants? Okay, Sarah, shall we take the question from the Zoom chat first?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Question 1. On the Mi Siado 1. When I begin to attain first jhana, the piti was very strong. As I proceed to higher jhana, piti become very subtle and not strong like before. When I check jhana factors, piti exists, but it is subtle only. Could Sarah advise if this is normal for meditators? 2. I also feel that piti is too gross sometimes and cause much vibration inside oneself. I'm more inclined to sukha and upekkha. This is common for normal meditators. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Actually, when you can take jhana, you cannot know, you must not know piti. If you know piti, you're not in the jhana. The object of jhana is a nimitta, not piti. Right? This is some misunderstanding about jhana. So subject or cross, it depends on your experience. That means you are checking your experiences. That's why you know this one, right? Similarly, second question, cross or subject, right? When you are entering into the jhana, you cannot know cross or subject. You just know the nimitta. If you know piti, cross or subject, you are not in the jhana, right? So that means you cannot incline sukha to upekkha, anything. If you are inclined to sukha upekkha, that means you know sukha and upekkha. This is also not jhana anymore, right? So then you have some misunderstanding about the jhana. Okay, next one.
Question 2. On the Mi Siado, one meditator, he often experienced hair rising throughout the body during meditation. He suspected that there is ghosts around him and disturb to him always. Today, Siado explained that hair rising is a kind of piti. Does it mean that the meditator has mistaken something? Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Okay. Actually, in this case, he's not used to be with this kind of experiences. That's why he misunderstands that the cause around him, something like that. Mostly, whenever we have new experiences, then we are not used to be with this kind of experience. Then sometimes fear may arise. Now, he also one meditator in Nepal. He has this kind of problem, right? Whenever he has very strong calmness and quietness, he's scared. Something will happen to him, right? So this kind of things are not really very good. Another thing is that when you have too much rapture or too much hair rising, don't recall that one too much. Okay? Then you must have more awareness to that, more awareness of the breathing. It will be easier. Otherwise, it will become stronger and stronger. So we cannot say it's a mistake, right? Only maybe his mind inclined to PT too much. That's why it will happen again and again.
Okay, sadhu. Question 3, Wandami Siador. We often hear very common saying like Theravada Buddhists are more emphasized on achievement for own welfare and less on practicing for the welfare of other beings. Is this saying justifiable? How we balance between these two qualities as a meditator? Sadhu.
Okay, here when we talk about welfare, right? Okay, I should not say very high quality. Should say very simple things. Panatipata. No killing. People may think it's for our own welfare. It's for other living being welfare. Right? If we don't have compassion, right? Then we cannot observe these precepts. If we don't have patience, we cannot observe these precepts. So that means just think about 5 precepts. No killing. It's not for ourselves, for other living beings. For other people, other living beings, happiness and welfare. Similarly, no stealing. This is also for the happiness of other living beings. Such a misconduct is also for the happiness of other people's family. We don't destroy other people's family, right? Then, similarly, musawara. We are not misleading people. We are not cheating people. This is also for the welfare of other living beings. Then, asura-miriya, right? If we get drunk, we may do many wrong things. It will be very harmful for our communities. So, achievements, of course, this is a very high level. This is many religions, they don't have that kind of achievements. They may have only morality. Okay, we just compare with morality level and charity level. Okay? For example, when we are doing Dana Parami and Sila Parami, just think about these two most of the time. For many other religions, they have only these two, right? For about Bhavana, meditation, they don't have provide instructions. That's why they may not have any achievement. Right? So in this case, it depends on how we practice. We have both Atahita and Brahita for the welfare of ourselves, for the welfare of other living beings. Okay?
Thank you, Siador. Question 4, Wandami Siador. I can naturally aware my breath in, out, and sit comfortably for 3 to 4 hours. In recent months, my mind is more focused on breath than many wandering thoughts as in the past. Around an hour or so, foggy light appears front of my face, but no more progress thereafter. So far, I have been at such status for most my meditations. Please advise how to improve and progress to a higher status of Anapana meditation. Sadhu.
Okay. So in your conditions, when you see something, some shape or color or something, you should not follow any shape, any color, or don't think about any locations. This is also one of the things. Okay, another thing is don't expect also. If you expect too much, this is also greed. Now when you have greed, this also can be hindrances, another hindrance. Huh? That's why it can hinder your improvement. Okay, you must check what kind of mindset do you have. Do you expect too much? Or maybe do you think you are not qualified enough or something? Right? Don't feel inferior. This is one of the things, right? If you have confidence, if you have enough confidence, natural efforts, also if you have, right, if your mind is free from expectation, and it will be easier for you to improve. So you might check what kind of hindrances you have in your thought process. Okay, the next one.
Thank you, Sayadaw. The next question is a Chinese question.
礼敬尊者习惯了听出世间法或修持遇上了世间法，感觉学子有点适应不良，或有点勉强。沙度沙度沙度。
I can hear. Ramadan Dhamma. Okay, this is no question, right? Anyway, so okay, sometimes we can listen to many different types of Dhamma talks, right? Some of them are not practical. You're gonna apply in your daily life, right? So anyway, if you wish to achieve this kind of level, you must have many different levels, many different steps. For example, self-purification. You must do fasting first, right? Step by step. So if you talk about path and fusion knowledge or very high quality, it's not that easy. Okay, for example, how to define your morality, the first step, trying to do it. Trying to find a way to solve many different problems in your daily life. Especially to be moral, right? You have to find many ways. Then again, another thing is concentration. The same, you have to find many different ways to have better concentration. So that means you can aim very high level, very high quality, but don't think about many different things you have to do. Just you can do what you can. Just do you can do what you can do now in the present moment. It will be easier for you. Otherwise, then you will be very bad people in the community. Be careful, right?
Thank you, Sayadaw. The next question. Wonder me, Sayadaw, when I sit down, I have many thoughts. How to calm the mind?
Okay, it depends on what kind of thoughts you have. For example, if you have a lot of thoughts about the greed, right? You can also cut the greed by recollecting Asubha meditations or something. Similarly, when you have a lot of worry, anxiety, then you can also do some metta for a while. When you can calm down, then you can start meditating. So another thing is that you must relax well. If you don't relax well, you may have more thoughts also. Okay, your mind must be free from worry and expectation. It will be getting better. Okay, next one.
Thank you, Sayadaw. Wonder me, Sayadaw, what is the best meditation for sadness arising because separated from someone you love? Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Okay. Actually, for about the sadness, it's not that easy for separation, right? Okay, another thing. There are many different things not easy for beginners. For example, like a Kama Sakadanyana, Kama, because of his Kama, right? Another thing is, okay, he may be a good person or she may be a good person. Just think about his or her quality. Then after that, we also know he can be reborn in the better destinations. Right? If we know that he is in the better destination, we can release from sadness. This is also one of the things. Okay, the main thing is when we have attachments, there's a sadness. Right? We also mentioned, right? Piyado Jayati Soko, Piyado Jayati Payam, Buddha says. That means all the sadness or grief come from love. The many of danger come from love also. Okay? So anyway, the main thing is instead of remembering bad things or something, okay, just think about good destination or the future. This is one way to calm down your mind. Another thing is you must cut attachment to any living beings. It will be a little bit better, right? So, okay, in the life, according to our karma, past karma, we see each other. Then we live happily, for example, right? Then when karma finish, we have to separate. Okay? The main thing is, as long as we can feel happy for the separation, I mean, good separation is good enough. So there are many ways to overcome dosa, you know? So the dosa also one of the section is one of the dosa. If you can go and read in Visuddhimagga, there are 11 ways of overcoming dosa, right? Then, and you can find some solution. But, okay, for example, separation means living separation. We can radiate metta. If death, we cannot radiate metta anymore, right? It depends on what kind of separation you have. You have to choose the way to do, right? Living separated, okay, to metta. Is good enough. Next one.
Sayadaw, we don't have any more questions in the chat group. Okay, participant, do you have any questions? Participant.
It means Sayadaw. So I have a question for people who are perfectionism, who tend to find fault about themselves during the Anapana. What would be the way that you could advise to seek for piti, or like, because piti is necessary to maintain the Anapana? Like, what would be the advice for people who hate themselves more, like find fault about themselves during the Anapana?
Okay. So, okay, we can say let's stop blaming, right? Blaming oneself too much. Okay, in this kind of case, it's a little bit difficult also. One more thing, right? When we blame ourselves, we become beautiful living beings. Then we should radiate metta or karuna to ourselves more. If we can radiate metta to ourselves, we can calm down, and we can start meditating. We can start focus on the breathing like that. Similarly, we can also do compassion to ourselves, right? Whenever this when we complain ourselves, it's very harmful for ourselves. Start complaining, right? So if we have this kind of problem, sure, most I recommend to do two, metta or karuna. Trying to visualize himself or herself. After that, trying to radiate metta, maybe free from mental pain, for example, again and again. Similarly, we can also do karuna, maybe free from suffering. Right? Another thing is maybe one happy also in metta meditation, right? So we can do this kind of metta meditation or karuna meditation first. After that, we can calm down our mind, go to anapanasati. It will be easier to overcome. Okay? Any other question for anybody?
Any more question? Okay. Sayadaw, we don't have any more question in the chat group, and no more from the participant. So, Sayadaw, shall we
Okay.
proceed to close? Okay, sorry, Sayadaw, there's one question.
Okay.
There's one Chinese question, Sayadaw. But the next question is a Chinese question in the chat group.
礼敬西亚多，那个是学子的嘟囔，出世间想法可活了，没因为他人的思想烦恼而把自己禁锢在世间看想法起来。不过学子发现只是身体力行修行，当面对生老病死的问题时，还是会把自心来回了俗世。萨度萨度萨度。
Okay. Now one more question come.
Mhm.
Okay, anything?
Wandami Sayadaw, why Buddha say dukkha, anatta, anicca is the truth?
Okay. So there are many religions. They believe the creator, and they believe Atma, or Indian, right? Because Atma or something. They believe this kind of things. Then this anatta is only the Buddha in Buddha instruction we can find. Okay, what about dukkha and anicca, right? So we have many different types of mentalities and materialities. They arise and variation very rapidly. Then we can say it's anicca. Okay, dukkha. We have actually many different types of dukkha. Because, like, for example, I will just say only two different things. Paricchana dukkha, aparicchana dukkha. Aparicchana means very clear, very obvious. Everybody can know and see this kind of dukkha. For example, when you have sickness, people can see you are sick. People can know and see or sense your sickness. It's very obvious. So now paricchana dukkha is uneasy to know, like a momentary personal way of mentality and materialities. Right? Okay, I will give one example. When you are going to watch a TV, then the line cut off. Then you cannot watch TV anymore. How do you feel? Right? You may feel something bad in your mind. Right? Similarly, if we know mentalities and materialities, they arise in aberration very rapidly. We don't have enough time to enjoy something. This is also dukkha. This is invisible, unknowable for ordinary people. Only for those who can understand nama-rupas and their rise and aberration can understand the one. Okay? So Buddha means anicca, dukkha, anatta is like a momentary rise and aberration way of nama-rupas, not ordinary cases. When we study in Samatha-Vipassanā Sutta or Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta, Buddha also mention some simile of dukkha. For example, rebirth is also suffering, aging also suffering, death also suffering, and separation with beloved one also suffering, associating with unloved one also suffering. Buddha mentioned many different types of suffering. Right? So, simple way. At the end, the Buddha talk about Sankirtana Panchuparanakanda Dukkha. In brief, the five aggregates are suffering. The main thing is the five aggregates. So for other things, for example, birth or death or sickness, since we were born, we have all the things already. Right? We're going to overcome it. Similarly, separation and association. This comes from embodiment. We're going to avoid embodiment. Right? So when we talk about Panchuparanakana Dukkha, we must know it. If we can know all the things, although we have embodiment, then if we know, if we can take part in future knowledge, even embodiment cannot affect our practice, our life. That is why the anicca, dukkha, anatta is not for beginners, just for advanced meditator, right? This is also true, sure. That when we know ultimate truth, we must know anicca, dukkha, anatta. But for daily life, don't use anicca, dukkha, anatta, right? It's not really very good for your daily life. Okay, next one.
Thank you, Sayadaw. Next question. Wandami Sayadaw, when we are going to sensual pleasure, it is always easy. But when we want to join retreat, something may happen to block us from coming. Why is it doing wholesome become more difficult? It is because we are blocked by our bad karma or Mara? Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Actually, we're going to say all the things from past karma or anything, right? Okay, the main thing is there are many other obstacles. Okay, in other team also, you can imagine right? To achieve something, you encounter many difficulties. After overcoming many difficulties, you have some achievement. Similarly, social blessings is just going downstream. Like you are swimming downstream, very easy. Although you don't make effort, you can go, you can swim. But doing whole science is like swimming upstream. You have to put you have to put very strong efforts to go up. Right? So you need energy, mind power, bodily energy, you need confidence, many other things. So that is why to achieve something, to do good is not that easy as going upstream. To do bad things is very easy to go downstream, right? So that means all the difficulty are testing our mind power and our efforts, right? So if we can overcome all the difficulties, all the blockage, that means we are a strong person, right? So you must understand this is testing our efforts, testing our virya, okay?
Thank you, Sayadaw. One last question here. Wandami Sayadaw, please Sayadaw advise how to overcome my mind. For example, my mind no hate to the bhikkhu, but my mind try not to see or meet. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Okay. So one more thing, right? In the case of saddha, you must remember saddha, right? So we have 3 factors of saddha. The first one is dasana vado sila vadam. You want to see virtuous people. It can be bhikkhu or layperson, right? Virtuous people. This is the proof of saddha. Maybe sometimes you don't want to see the bhikkhu, maybe they are bad or something, they are immoral or something, maybe, right? So if you know he or she, and that bhikkhu is moral, then you must see it. You must appoint him to see it, right? You must find a chance to see it, see him. This is the saddha. If you don't want to see even virtuous bhikkhu, moral bhikkhu, that means your saddha is not strong enough. So one thing, right? Another is saddhamman sotu mechati. We wish to listen to noble dhamma. Okay, what does it mean, noble dhamma? By listening some discourses, we have new knowledges, new opinions. This is called saddhamma. Not only that, by listening to some discourses, we have stronger faith. Then this is also called saddhamma. Then by listening to something, our morality becomes stronger, or we may have more moral fear and moral shame. We may have stronger moral fear and moral shame. Then this is also called noble dhamma. Okay? So the main thing is you may want to listen to noble dhamma. This is also called the proof of saddha. Okay, another one. Vikada malamachidam. You don't have possessiveness or stinginess. This means you have a saddha. So in your case, you have to check what kind of factors is lacking. That means you don't want to see moral bhikkhu, right? You don't want to listen to the noble dhamma, or you may have a lot of stinginess. Then this means you have very little faith, or your faith is not so strong enough. So in your case, I think you should upgrade your faith or your confidence with Buddha teaching. It will be easier for you to change your minds. Okay, next one.
Sarah, there's no more question in the chat group.
Okay.
Okay. So Sarah, can we proceed to close the session for today?
Okay.
Okay. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you very much for your teachings today. And thank you, our interpreter Bante, for the translation. May we invite Sarah to lead us in making aspiration and sharing of merits. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Idavadaja amehi sambadam punya sambadam sabbe deva numodandu sabbe buddha numodandu sabbe saddha numodandu sabba sampatti siddhiya idhamme nyatinam hotu sukhita hontu nyatayo Idame Nyatinam Hotu Sukhita Hondu Nyadayo Idame Nyatinam Hotu Sukhita Hondu Nyadayo Idame Bunyam Asawakaya Waham Hotu Idame Bunyam Nibbanasa Pajayo Hotu Mama Bunya Bhagam Sabbasadanam Bhajemi Te Sabbe Me Samam Punya Bhagam Labantu Sadhu Sadhu Sadhu.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you, Sayadaw. Thank you, everyone, for your time and participation. Till we meet again the next session, may all be well and happy, and may all have a good and peaceful retreat. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.